Hey, Ronnie Olson of the Shady Spring Tigers. Ronnie, another win. I don't know how you would classify this one. I would think you'd probably say you didn't play your best game, but you still won by 30. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were stellar on the defensive end. You know, we really turned up pressure. Our half-court defense was really good. So to come in here and get a win that big, and to limit them to the tough shots we did, I thought was pretty impressive of the guys. And I thought they were intense, and they handled the environment pretty well. It was a good crowd. It got loud early. They got a couple buckets early, and I thought they responded, and that was on the defensive end.
do you, does this kind of, I won't say deep, but it show how much offensive arsenal you have when maybe the Chapmans didn't play their best shoot? I'll just say they didn't shoot well. But then you've got Jaden with a double-double. You've got Amir coming off, Amar coming off the bench and, giving you, I think, 8, 9, 10 points. Does that kind of show the kind of offense you can have and the depth maybe you have in scores?
I mean, really, I look at it like, I know that those guys start, but I feel like Amar and Sam could come in and start, and I don't think we'd lose anything. They didn't. I don't feel like Braden Cole had a bad night. I just felt like they passed what was open, and they took what was there. So I think it's hard. That's what makes it so special. We say it all the time. It's hard to guard us because everybody on the floor can score, and they're ready, and they're put in the right positions, and they're there. So. Sam came in, hit some big buckets. Amar played great. I think he was saddled by foul trouble earlier. I think he would even had a bigger game. So, Amar's just and Sam were just like extensions of the starters. They come in, they play the same minutes, and we're deep, and we're way deeper than we were last year. So I feel comfortable putting those guys in the game.
I mean, for the last week or two, you told me this was a game that kind of concerned you a little bit. Then they didn't have Witten in there, who was injured in the scrimmage at Shady. And I won't ask you to speculate on another team. Obviously, that hurt them not having their big guy. But did it do anything to you guys mentally, maybe, that he wasn't in there?
Obviously it hurts when they don't have the best player for them, but I don't think it would have changed any of our approach. I don't know if he'd have handled the ball or not. He's a good player, so he had affected the game some. But it definitely didn't change our approach. We expected him to play. We practiced like he was going to play. It wouldn't have changed anything we did. He's one of the better players in the area. So it obviously hurt them, but I don't think it would have changed anything we did. Obviously, it would change the score some. But I still felt like the way we dominated the game, it really wouldn't have mattered too much.
Do you feel like you could run 7 comfortably now in a rotation? Would you like to find that 8th guy?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea who that might be right now? Because you've got some scorers over there that are, younger guys.
Yeah, we have some of those guys been playing big JV minutes. We'll look to play. We have Gavin over there. Kai. Ty and Jalen. Those guys are there. But Gavin is playing pretty well, and so is Kai. So those guys are open minds a little bit. But I don't know how many we're going to play past 7 or 8. Games like this, maybe they can play a little more. But it's kind of learning for them right now. We're playing 7 to 8 people right now.
Are Gavin and Kai kind of guys you think you can go to? I know that these first 2 games, they've been convincing wins. Those guys didn't come. They didn't get any run with the first team. Are you running them with guys, first and second team guys in practice, or are they staying? Would you rather keep them down and let them play more rather than bring them up and maybe say give Gavin and Kai maybe less JV time if they keep playing the way they are at that level?
If they earn my trust a little bit, they might be put in the rotation. But the way we're conditioned, the way we play, it's hard to take Braden Cole, Jaden, those guys out for extended periods of time. So there's not a whole lot of room for rotation right now. Those guys play the whole game. They rarely come out unless they're in foul trouble. But Gavin and Kai are definitely working their way up, and it's a long season, so you never know when we're going to need an unsung hero. So I like what I see from all those guys. Jalen is as well, and Ty, Latrell, but they're all. They all look good, but some of those guys are pushing for a little more minutes. But we'll see. We know it's tough to take some of those starters out all the time. They play big minutes.
Jaden Holstein, he's a guy that's really, really improved over the course of where he was at the beginning of last year. Granted, he had a pretty big game in that first Woodrow game last year. Kind of announced himself and kind of settled into a role for him. It seems like he's playing above the rim a lot more this year. And a couple not dunks, but a couple tip-ins where he was above the rim tonight.
Yeah, he really was. In practice, he's doing that. He's really getting up. He's playing above the rim, 1, 2 hands. Throwing it down pretty easy. I think that's the new evolution of Jaden. You know, he wants to get a dunk. He dunks in practice all the time. So I think he's playing above the rim because he's stronger. He's got a bigger frame and he has more confidence. And I think that's going to lead to him scoring. Obviously, you saw it tonight, and he's playing well above the rim. And it's really hard to put a body on him because he tracks the ball so well.
Has he improved maybe as much as anybody you've seen in the course of the time to get to where he's at now? Big contributor in the state tournament last year.
I mean,
did you expect that at the beginning of last year?
I did. I did. I thought I could have played him some in his 9th grade year, you know, but we were just so deep, kind of like this year with some of them guys on the bench.
Hard to break this rotation.
Yeah, it does, you know. But I mean, you had Haven and Dane, and you know, you had some of them other guys, Grayson. It's hard to get in the rotation, but I knew the next year he was going to be ready to go, and he did. He absolutely stepped in, and there he was, state champion.
Is it? And again, what does this say about this team that maybe Chapmans aren't scoring what they probably normally would, maybe normally what you would want them to get, but that you can get an Amar, a Sam, and Jaden, and they kind of pick you up and put you on their backs tonight, scoring
Yeah.
wise.
I mean, if anybody that knows the game of basketball watches, Brady and Cole kind of did what they want. They got what they want. They just made the right passes. You know, they broke the defense down. And if I'm a college coach, you know, I see those guys kind of doing what they want in every game, but they're making the right passes. They could go ahead and.
Do they have as much fun doing that as
Absolutely,
scoring?
and that's what makes them so special. Brady and Cole could be a little more aggressive and selfish and, you know, take a bunch of shots and you know, score 30 a game. They easily could do that, both of them, but they don't. They facilitate. And that's not just because of me. It's because that's the way they play basketball. And I think any coach that could watch them at the next level knows they can go downhill and they can play at the next level and they're making the right plays.
Well, I guess what I meant was not necessarily they didn't play bad games.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they did play great games,
Yeah.
but you know, this shows this team's got some.
Absolutely.
You can get scoring, and maybe they facilitated it. This
Yeah.
team can get scoring and other options. Yet some teams they have that 1 or 2 guys. It seems like you guys have maybe 7 guys you can rely on, maybe on any given night to get it over.
Absolutely.
Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every guy on the floor is a threat to score. You know, like I said, you defend and you rebound. You have the green light. You can go ahead and, you know, do what you got to do on offense. So they put in the work. So I allow them to do what they want on the offensive end. They don't ask for much, but effort, energy, and going after it on the defensive end. And you know, they play loose and free on the offensive end. I think you can see that with all of them scoring.
All right, Ronnie, I appreciate it, man. Good job tonight.
Thank you.